Hello and welcome to Games for GMs 3. My name is Bamce, or Rob if you prefer. I am going to be running this little project today. The Games for GM series is a way that a bunch of GMs can get together, have a shared experience, and hopefully be able to ask and answer each other's questions about the way things work so that we can all grow as game masters and improve our own personal home games. Today I've got 5 people from the Shadowrun subreddit that are going to go on this crazy adventure with me today, and hopefully we can all share our own experiences and views on the different scenarios we're going to run into today and grow from it. So, um, starting from left to right.
I take it that means I'm left. Yay! It's Yahtzee again. I was here for the last one. Um, well, if you watched the last one, which you should,
I appreciate the
obviously.
product placement.
Yes, yes. But no, I picked Professor this time because I played Alice last time, and I wanted to give somebody else a chance to play Alice because like 4 people wanted to play Alice. Um, so I picked my second pick, the Professor, because I never get to play a mage, and I don't really know the mage rules that well. I know them enough, but the best way to learn is to actually play it. So here we are.
Then a second returning voice, Mr. Big Slam.
Yeah, I'm here again, once again. Last time I actually played, was it Lucas? The face?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
The lucky face, and which was kind of a first try in the face area for me. I never actually tried a face, and yeah, this time I'm trying something else I never actually uh, tried, and that's a cyber character, and yeah. Light cyber in this case because she only got a cyber arm, if I remember correctly,
A couple of the little
and
pieces.
a couple of little pieces. Yeah, and yeah, it's not that big of a jump because I'm playing a street tough character right now in the home game I play in, so it's kind of familiar area for me at the moment.
I like the use of the word jump, and I hope to see more of it in this game.
Yes, last time back how I did end up leaping from one vehicle onto another. Let's see if you can meet the probably unreasonable standards.
I'll try. Best I can do.
I'm not going to try and pronounce that because it's an internet word and I'm
Yeah,
going to ruin it.
yeah, Simon, just Simon.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, okay, so it's my first game here, and it's my first game on Roll20, and well, it's not my first game in Shadowrun. I picked Ellis, well, L, for the reason, just because I get used to play deckers in my home games, and I really like the flavor of Matrix and all the stuff. So I uh, transformed Alice into L. It's still she's now he is a dwarf, and I hope that everything is gonna be fine. Yeah, like this.
What could possibly go wrong? I'm beginning to think the
I don't.
reason Alice was so popular is because it was the only Matrix character I had created for this stable. Maybe I should work on that next week.
I would attack no man, so.
Terrorists.
Right? And then Atomi?
Tom does. It's basically a really old account that I've just kept because no point making a new one.
I hope
I'm
it's
playing.
somewhere in the area of like 15 years old because there's an IX at the beginning and an
Yup.
XI at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm playing Egrad, however you want to pronounce it.
Fantasy names.
Yeah. I basically kind of going to Shadowrun probably about a couple of months back, maybe half a year or so. I'm basically planning on running Shadowrun for a home game with a bunch of mates, and then I spotted this, so I thought good time to give it a shot of actually playing it, which will give me a better understanding of the rules. And then, yeah, that's about it. And I'm playing the heavy, so he's basically just got big guns and probably a kick-ass attitude to go with it.
And then finally, real serious Bill.
Heyo. So I've been running a Shadowrun game for a little over a year now, and I've been gaming for tabletop gaming for about 12, and this is the most confused I've ever been while jumping into a new game. Uh, my group's gotten pretty damn good at being Shadowrunners, made that pink mohawk transition pretty quickly. I chose Mana Blitzer because, well, I'm least familiar with mage rules, so I just kind of want to get my game up on that and see how it works out in play.
So
There
we've
is-
got two mages that
You have
are
two mages.
not great on mage rules.
That is part of the reason, because this is as close as I'm going to get on my
Nope.
channel to doing rules-oriented things. Because if you guys want rules information, there's Bobby that does the complex action stuff. He's great. There are other resources for that. I like to more focus on the thematic and narrative ideas. A small note on Mana Blitzer: his signature is directly linked to the alchemy spell that he knows and the kanji that he also knows.
Which is probably incorrect.
Probably incorrect. A lot of more of his detail was brought into the character generation video I did on him, but the basic idea is that he makes his shatter spell into like ink and then uses it to write out in terrible kanji Mana Blitzer, like real big graffiti style across things, and then activates the preparation to scar the side of the building or the pavement or whatever with his tag.
Oh, cool.
So, but that's probably as close as I will get to a influencing the decisions that people make with these characters. They are put together as a, not necessarily just for the games for GM universe with giant ear quotes, but if people have ideas or, oh crap, I need a game that I'm going to play in, but I don't have a character sheet, can anybody help me out real quick? Which happens every once in a while on our lovely subreddit. Here you go. They are there as a public service. If you guys want to use them for your home games in any fashion, go right ahead. I don't care. I want them to grow and have their own lives. However, they will be consistent within this little universe that we have. So if you guys get dead, I expect an epic eulogy written by whoever was piloting the character at that time. To start off, we're doing a protection-oriented scenario wherein the team is going to be hired to look after a thing, which we'll get to in a moment. These usually go one of two ways. Either nothing goes horribly wrong and it's all right, time passes, nothing happens, time passes, nothing happens kind of thing, which is not very player rewarding. Or, of course you needed protection because of course something is going to go wrong, because that is the way that these tropes always play out. So my hope is today to show you ways that, what if nothing goes horribly wrong, and how can we continue to make it interesting for a group of criminals? Or to what degree does something go wrong based upon the player's plannings? So, going to start off real quick with a couple of light GMing questions. If you guys have any questions off the top of your head, we can get through, and then we will get into the meat if there's just high level stuff about the theme of today's game.
So I've got a little question actually. Do you give more narrative story, but without jumping into the core books
What?
and all the stuff, or do you prefer to stick to the rules, and always looking in the book?
So that'll depend upon your personal table. I myself, I only use the rules when they are thematically appropriate. Things like range modifiers for whether or not you can shoot a man doesn't really matter. If, however, that guy is running down a dark alleyway, it's raining at night, and if he gets away, you're gonna, lose some pay data, or he's gonna get away with something else, and this is the last shot before he gets away. I'm gonna hit you with some dice, because that
Okay.
that adds to the situation instead of just slowing down the game. What about the rest of you guys, as you are also here to answer questions? It's not just here for me to speak.
But we came here for you to speak.
Damn it!
Just one.
Yes, that's actually why we're here. I'm just here to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's such a
Rob.
nice voice.
Ugh.
Okay,
Alright.
one more question actually.
Sure.
For the metrics, I mean, everybody is using metrics because it's like in Shadowrun, it's one of the not the main parts, but one of the cool stuff, right? And when you are playing with your groups or whatever, and when you are jamming, are you giving the players the full matrix or just the short vision of it? Like, you are on a bus and it's like there are trees everywhere, and that's all. Or are you giving the full description with all the cool stuff that there is, or something like that?
It depends upon the circumstances of the run. If you are delving deep into a host and it's a pretty important part, you can be pretty sure in my games at least that there is a bit of an architecture with some doors that may or not have different mark access required to them. Some of them will have things broken up into other places. I perplexed a decker for 3/4 of a run because there was I believe it was a security folder that was encrypted that he copied and checked like 3 or 4 different times throughout the run to see if there was anything in, and there was never anything in there because it was bait. Because to decrypt it, you needed to make an attack action, which would alert the host. The other crazy stuff like AIs and sprites and technomancers and that kind of thing, I personally prefer to leave big, crazy, scary AIs to a run-specific thing, just because it's like, if they're everywhere, they lose some of their specialness, where
Yeah.
the opposition will depend upon what happens. There's occasionally a technomancer that shows up if you're suddenly, usually only when you're interacting with another runner team, because that keeps you from looting the decks, but it does also allow me to force multiply, because that technomancer on the other team can easily have sprites at his disposal to suddenly, instead of you just slamming smartlink after smartlink with your data spikes, suddenly you're on the defense because there's 4 other things for you to fight. There's a technomancer, his sprites, there's the noise in the area, there's things that you want to do. It will engage the decker in a different fashion in that way. The rest of you guys, please feel free to chime in.
Just quick question. Image link. I can share my image link with the Decker Carter, and he gets an overlay of what I see.
Image links are display devices, not recording devices.
Yep.
Right. Cool.
You need a camera.
I'll try and
Which-
remember what that was. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Yep.
The image link is
It's
just allowing
literally
you
called
to
camera.
see metrics in your eyes or glasses or goggles or
Yeah.
stuff like that. So you need a camera at least, or a cyber eye or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Never mind. That was it. That's the only rule I forgot.
No, that's fine.
Generally, when I build characters, I try and build the camera into my mask, or something, just so that I have that option. If I don't do cyber eyes,
Yeah. No, that's fine. I was just checking.
That's fine. Cyber eyes are so cool thematically, but I hate taking them in character generation because they're so expensive.
yep,
Yeah.
Well, they are, but they're also cool. So
they're also really useful occasionally,
They are also
and
good.
they're not as easy to brick as they used to be.
This is true.
There was a situation where one of my players took cyber eyes, and one of his eyes was a drone, like a flying eye.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were in the middle of a fight, and he decided to check the next turn of a corridor and send his eye there, and there was a grenade explosion, and he lost his eye like that. So, cyber eyes are cool, but I suppose they're a little bit fragile, so to say.
Yeah, no, for going around blinded in one eye for the foreseeable future, I would totally just invest in a cheap drone rather than, something that's very important to me, like my actual eyes.
Yeah. They
I
make this
thought-
thing called a grenade camera. It is awesome. I recommend you pick one up at some point.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like a stuff from some game, Splinter Cell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, something like that, I think, or one of the Call of Duties. But so if there's no other,
Sticky. Yeah.
If there is no other
I
question,
wanted to
go ahead.
speak on that Matrix thing. When I run the Matrix in a game, it depends on what stage of the run. If it's legwork, it's usually pretty bare bones. But if you're gonna bust into a corporate host, I'll go all out on descriptions because corporate hosts are scary. I want you to
That's
feel scared.
that's a pretty good way of handling it. Actually, give as much um, description to it as you describe anything else in the same importance. Like when you are kicking in the door of a corporate facility to go get the prototype, and you have your decker working the host of that thing. Well, you want to give the decker as much of an idea of a feel that he is there as the people who are there, boots on the ground, running down hallways. Like even to the point where it's like your icon is running down the hallway from camera to camera, turning them off as it is pointing at where the team is running down that same hallway in physical space. It will also help you open up for dramatic and appropriate scene transitions to like here you are disabling cameras in the Matrix. Describe that scene of the icon and the team running down the hallway. Then like as you mess with the last camera in the hallway, you get to feed through it, looking out into it. You see Ingrid is coming barreling in to post up against the wall. And you're like, all right, Ingrid, what are you doing? You're up against the door. What's next? To kind of transition the two scenes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's kind of the idea I use in my games. So yeah.
I like that.
So with that out of the way, we'll get into the run proper. Taking a look at our characters here, I feel like let's go with the professor is probably the one to get this phone call from the Games for GM Universe fixer that's not on anybody's character sheet that I should put there. But let's say 11 o'clock in the morning. What do you feel? Where do you feel you would be?
Mr. Hinckley is sitting in a soy box, sipping on a coffee that he obviously cannot afford, but needs something to keep him awake because he's been up all frickin' night reading a stupid book.
You will get the specialized ringtone that you have set up for a work call.
Oh, that's unusual. It's a little early for that kind of situation, but he'll answer it anyways.
The modulated voice that you are used to whenever a job of questionable status comes across your phone. Good day. I trust I find you well.
You find me pretty well. It's not a bad day. It's raining, but that's pretty usual. Actually, what is it in Seattle today?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It's really nice in Seattle today. I live here.
61 and cloudy, but no rain. You lucky son of... It's like 50 here.
It's not cloudy at all. I'm looking outside.
In freedom units for you, non-freedom unit using people's...
Does the fact that you live in Seattle influence your wants to play Shadowrun?
Oh, absolutely. It's wonderful. Somebody made like the real map project or whatever of Seattle, and I printed it out in like a 5x4 thing that's on my wall in our gaming room.
That's awesome.
Nice.
It's great. So many of my players are like, well, let's go see what's in my neighborhood. I'm like, look at the map. Okay, you can go here, or you're going to get arrested, or you're going to die at your house.
Something that might be fun for you to do, since it's a face-to-face game, right?
Yeah.
Is when you go to do legwork one time and you go to an in-character city bar, go to a place down the street and do it like in character at the bar.
That sounds
God.
You gotta
a
get
lot
your
of fun. I
nerd
take
on all the way.
I take a lot of like street signs or local businesses and add them to my games.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's the big one right now is and I'll make this quick. Sorry.
No,
There's
it's
a
fine.
local plumbing company out here, and their logo is literally called Poopy the Plunger, and it's one of the biggest plumbers in downtown Seattle. Well, in 2075, 5, being one of the biggest plumbers in downtown Seattle pretty much makes you a criminal boss because you have access to all the blueprints of the most valuable resources in Seattle. So Mr. Poopy is now one of the most dangerous contacts they have.
I can 100% agree with that, and I have a story time for that for later. So
Right.
the voice will continue. It's like, I have a job offer. However, the Johnson for this particular job is currently out of town, which is actually part of the reason that he is making this job offer.
Interesting.
As such, there will be a matrix room open from the hours of 3:30 to 4 p.m. and gives you the matrix, basically Discord chat link. If you want to talk, see what he has to say, and then assemble your folks who may or may not be interested in this business venture.
All right, that sounds like a thing we can do. Let me give a couple calls to a couple people and see who I can round up for this. Do you have any idea what kind of job this is? Or did he give you no details?
The details sounded like it was a extended time period, paid per day situation. It's either sit on somebody that doesn't want to be sat on, or maybe sit on somebody that needs a little babysitting.
All right. Well, sounds like something we can do. But I can always read a book while waiting for someone to be sat on, or watching someone else sit on them, or whatever.
You can't see it, but somewhere in wherever this voice is calling you from, there are eyes being rolled as you mention books.
Yep.
And with that,
All right, I'll say,
he says,
thanks for
"Very
the
good.
job, boss. Call me later."
You know where to reach me," and then
I'll-
the call will
I'll
end.
do that matrix click noise.
You have a couple of hours before your meet, and you have a couple of people to contact and see what they are up to for today.
All right. Well, I am gonna. Oh man, I need to remember the list of everybody that's on the list. So first, I'm gonna call Mana Blitzer, my mage buddy.
Hey,
Ring, 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 Mana Blitzer.
I take the call.
What is Mana Blitzer doing?
Yeah, it's
Right now, Mana Blitzer is. Oh my God, what is Mana Blitzer doing? Mana Blitzer is perfecting his graffiti that he writes with his shatter spell. He's adding a few touches to it, some flair. When he takes the phone call, he's kind of bummed at getting it pulled from his concentration on this right now. What you got going for me?
Hey man, I got a job later today. I had a meet in an internet chat room thing. Apparently, it's a sit on somebody kind of job. Don't know if it's a nice sit on someone or a forcibly sit on someone. You interested?
Well, I'm always looking to make some more new yen. I'm interested.
Cool. How's your artwork going along?
Oh, you'll see. It's always improving.
I'll see. I hope you're not doing anything on campus. Last time you did something on campus, wasn't pretty.
Well, yeah, but they know me around campus.
Yeah, the security guards know you on campus.
Yeah, they can't touch me though.
All right. I'll send you the deets. Meet in the chat room. Try and be there a little early so we can be professionals.
I'll do my best.
All right. I'll hang up. Next on my list is gonna be. Oh, I suppose I should call Alice next or Al next, because the internet, and the Matrix, and I should probably get the Matrix person involved in this to start looking up stuff about this chat room. I'm calling Alice.
Al.
Yes,
Yeah.
Al. Forget
up.
about that.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah.
played her last time.
Yeah, pick it up.
Al, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, hey, nothing really much. You can hear
Nothing.
the sound of, like an old Mario game somewhere on the background, like toot, 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 something like this.
Nice. I do not think Roy knows jack and or squat about old Mario games, so he will not recognize the tune.
Oh, never mind.
Uh,
Yes,
uh,
up.
I got a job that I'm looking to get, paid for, and I'm looking for some people to help with. And I got this Matrix address that I'm supposed to be meeting this guy in later. I was curious if you'd like to come along and or check it out.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, the time we spend is the money we are not earning. So, okay,
Awesome.
send me details for this chat room. I will try to do my best and find out what I can before the time. I mean,
Awesome. It's at like 3. It's like what, 11:15 now? You got a couple hours. I got some
Yeah.
more people to call.
cool.
Just as a heads up, as we're getting into a dice rolling potential situation, on my table, if you want to just throw dice and label them for what it is, you can, after typing in the success macro, just label it as something, and then you can continue to roll dice while other people are talking. Don't wait on them.
Okay, yeah, but I really not yet getting how to use all the micro.
Sure, it's
Yep.
yep. We'll let him continue, and I'll text you through the thing.
Excellent.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm gonna ring up. Here, I'll do this the fun way. We're gonna roll up Ergrad or Egrad.
Grad, whichever.
Whichever. I'm gonna call Smashy o'clock. How you doing?
What's up?
Okay. I got a job later today. Well, I got a meet later today for a job later today. It's on the It's on the Matrix though. So curious if you're interested in a babysitting job.
How much we getting?
I don't know yet. Meets later. We haven't discussed anything yet. Figured you might want to be there for it.
Yeah. Why not?
Awesome. Here's the Matrix details. Show up there at like 2:45, 3 o'clock. We might not open until 3 o'clock, but around that time.
All right.
I don't
See
know
you
this
then.
Matrix.
Well, talk to you.
All right. Then I will call back alley.
Ring, ring.
Ring ring back alley.
Ew. What's going on?
I got a job.
Nice. What's it
I
about?
assume some sort of babysitting job. You interested?
Why not? Why not?
Awesome. Be in this chat room on the internet at 3 o'clock ish. Might not open until 3 o'clock, but I appreciate
Cool.
earliness.
Okay.
So what's Ingrid and Back Alley? What are you guys doing at this hour of the day?
Well, I guess back alley in this case is well, healing. Also, I don't find the correct word for it from maybe a concert or something.
Resting.
Well, I noticed she's pretty big into certain types of rock.
Oh God,
And,
was
yeah.
she there with Look at her
The
sheet.
troll
Real quick.
trash.
Well, I guess she would not go there in person because that would probably not end well, as those guys tend to be a little bit on the racist side.
Oh, it depends. Here's a good question that is an interesting thing that randomly came up throughout their different character generation situations. Back Alley has a music specialization in Goblin Rock, and Ingrand has a specialization in
Troll thrash metal.
Troll Thrash. Were they at a concert together?
There could be, yeah, I guess.
I mean, I'm not talking about like a dating together because that sounds uncomfortable, but a
Well, maybe through the Matrix, there are concepts about the Matrix, so why not?
You could have plugged in and just been there digitally.
Yeah,
Excellent.
sounds
A whole
good.
lot cheaper than buying tickets.
Probably.
Indeed.
Igor at this time of morning is probably just like checking all his drum gear and stuff, and just getting it all ready for in case he needs to do a concert, and probably checking how his sales of his last EP is doing.
So after about an hour or so of Al's matrix searching, you will come up with uh, the matrix chat room that you're looking for is currently a claimed matrix domain, kind of like when you go on a website for our internet that says, hey, this domain is available for sale, but it's the one step closer of this domain has been purchased, but the person has not set it up yet and is currently in process of building it, or whatever the sixth world equivalent of that is.
Yeah.
It was
Does it
some
have-
kind of node ownership's happening.
Yeah, and so can I, for example, no, I will, not can, I will, try to slap a mark on it and try
Sure.
to access it before the time comes.
By all means.
Yep, so wait a sec, I got it's hacking, okay, 14. Of course, it will be hack on the fly.
Yep.
So,
Something about crashing the chat room before chat room time sounds like a terrible idea. By brute force, I mean not by hacking.
it's like a peek through the hole. Not like I'm going to steal something or
I know. I was more making the commentary based upon using brute force versus hack on the fly.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's hack on the fly. And the limit is where is it? Oh, yeah. Fine. Great. So let's roll. Whoa.
Whew.
I've got
Damn.
5 against what?
It would be its willpower plus firewall, or host rating plus firewall in this case.
The host rating X2, like this. Double.
So you have successfully placed a mark upon this small defenseless chat room.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to peek in, see what's happening, what are they trying to do with it. Of course, I'm trying to run silent right now.
Yep.
Like,
So inside it is a large empty room. It's not even really decorated. There is a small default, easy to assemble table that is there. There is one chair on the other side, and then it's a bunch of empty space on the opposing side. Give me a matrix perception test, and we can see if there are other interesting details you may find in here.
Yep. And yeah, give me a second. I will look through my programs just to see if I can have something. Yeah. Okay. So the matrix perception is with data processing, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It is a
So
computer plus intuition with a limit of your data processing.
I mean the limit.
Yeah.
That data processing. So I will run the toolbox, which will give me +1 to my data processing. Okay, so now and use my. No, never mind. Okay, so here it goes. 3.
All right. So with 3 hits on a matrix perception, you can ask me 3 questions about this room and see what we can find out.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think about it a little bit.
Sure. while you're thinking, did anybody else have anything they wanted to do during the early
Yeah,
parts of today, or do they just want to kind of get over their concert hangovers or get back to their book?
Nah.
I'm going to roll something and you're going to chuckle.
Uh-oh. So
Oh, I'm going to regret rolling that later.
yeah, something about 12 successes on 18 dice is something.
Well,
I imagine him sitting in his little soy calf place with two different books open, trying to like compare notes between the two of them, and not wanting to put either book down because there's another book open on the table that he's making use of. So he's just like, magic.
well, I better don't ask about the limit for this test.
What?
Because that would take away the fun.
I mean,
Yeah, I cast it at like Force 1 because a cup of soy calf does not weigh anything.
no. And as much fun as it would be to watch you soak a whole bunch of physical drain because of your 12 successes.
Yeah, right. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I'm going to cast magic fingers at Force 12 to sip coffee.
Yo, it would be the most magical coffee sipping you have ever participated in. Al, did you come up with any questions you wanted to ask, or would you like me to fill in some information?
Yeah, okay, let's start with the easy one. I'd like to know the rating of this host.
So you are inside a rating to host.
No. The host. Host rating. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is
rating 2.
rating 2.
Rating 2, okay. And are there any other silent running icons here?
You don't see anything other running silent in here, or running in here at the moment.
No.
Some of the information as you are looking around, you will be able to see that there is a registration code, I guess we could call it, the number that is of the comlink that we used to purchase this air quote matrix space for the time, which a quick look will reveal that it is basically the as technology version of a Metalink, so their disposable phone from
Yeah, right.
some player in
So
as
everything is-
technology.
So I know that it's like empty room that someone bought with a disposable phone. Okay.
A disposable Aztec
I
phone.
guess. Yeah. Aztec.
Yes.
Okay. If it is, I think.
Which I would be less worried about if Stuffer Shack wasn't owned by Aztec.
Okay. So I guess for now it's kind of all that I can find
Sure.
here. So I will check out and reboot my deck. Figure out the Overwatch
Yep.
score. And that's all for now.
Awesome.
All that
So
I will.
so hitting that scan button, we will kind of up until about 3:30 or so for the meet. I imagine everybody logs into the chat room.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
good news. In the sixth world, they have fixed the chat room problems that we were having earlier today.
That's
Well, he must
kind of
not
a
be on-
relief. It would be, well, some, how should I say, one hell of a game to play this out virtually or in theater of mind again.
So
Oh.
at 3:31 precisely, what do I have? 5. A sixth persona will log into the room. It is a man in a business icon fancy suit, not like
Is
the
it a
ridiculous.
brandy?
Is it what?
Is it a brandy?
I don't know what that is.
Brandy is basically a bot avatar with no real changes to it.
Oh, okay. It's got a bit more personality to it. It's not just your default male setting in a meta link that many of you are very familiar with the phones that you've had to destroy over the course of your careers. This one looks a little bit more customized and a little bit more official. If you guys want to throw any associated dice about it, please go ahead and do so. The man whose head attops the suit looks to be of a Hispanic orient, and we'll pause for a moment to kind of look around the room and at each of you guys individually before taking the seat in the chair. As he does so, 5 chairs will materialize across from him in the little room. Please sit.
Quick
Yeah,
question.
Mhm.
You know when you connect to like a matrix room,
Mhm.
uh, how is the overlay done? Because obviously, like deckers will be actually there, like in matrix space, whereas
You're roboting a little bit.
guys like might be physically in the matrix set down.
So his is the only icon that you see beyond your own, and the icons for the, not the icons, but the digital constructs of the chairs and the table. The rest of the room is got that light that doesn't seem to come from anywhere, but is empty.
right, so
That kind of answered my question, but that'll do.
okay, so
I see a
roll the
matrix
matrix
perception.
perception.
What kind of information
Yeah.
would you like?
First of all, again, checking for the silent running, anything, like, I mean, anything.
There are
Silent
no
running.
silent running icons unless your teammates are running silent on something.
And my teammates say what? Okay. No, I know if there's something silent running on my teammates, I won't look at it because they are my teammates.
Right.
So another question will be, like, is he running any programs right now that I need to know
He
about?
is not running any programs.
Like, okay. I guess not. Okay. Nevertheless, I got my five successes for nothing.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
still,
If throughout the course of this scene you have further questions that are related to that matrix perception, we can revisit the other 3 things that you may ask based upon it.
okay, cool.
So assuming
One
that
neat
you will.
trick I have learned.
Go ahead.
Sorry. One neat trick I have is that technomancers don't run programs.
No, they do not.
Bum bum bum.
Yeah, right.
Totally a
They don't because
technomancer.
they are.
I mentioned
Yeah.
it because Alice has a skill related to it.
I know.
Simon, I think you're a little
Skill, but
quiet still for some people.
no, the skills. Yeah, I know. I got it.
Yep.
Got it,
No, but I think your volume is still a little low as
like,
Twitch chat.
okay.
Maybe if you could get closer,
Can you-
or I can hear you, but
more like.
Yeah, you're kind of quiet on Twitch chat.
Sorry, give me a second.
Yep. While you're messing with that, the man. I trust you are the professionals that my associate has put me in contact with. I will get straight to the point. There are things in Seattle that are of personal importance to me. However, at current, I am not in Seattle, hence our accommodations, motioning with his hand to the empty matrix room you folks find yourselves in. This puts a bit of stress upon me, as one could imagine, that somebody may use my absence from the city to take the opportunity presented that would garner them a position of power over me, as one could imagine. That is where I ask that you come in. I will not be in Seattle until the end of the week, and I would like for you to take care of this for me to make sure that things go well. Something is beeping a whole bunch.
So who's gonna talk for our team right now? Who's most charismatic of us all?
That's a good question. You guys have the options here
I didn't
to.
hear what he said.
No, I suppose
Yeah.
that professor was picking up this task first, so he should run the show for us.
Oh, you want the mage with 2 charisma to run the conversation.
Right. Okay. No, I mean that the first person who was contacted about this work was you, so I decided
No.
that it might be logical to present you
Yep.
the opportunity to show that you are
Yeah.
the boss here.
It's at this point that the professor looks around and realizes, oh crap, I forgot to call a face.
Whoops.
Yep. But, we're professionals. We're just going to roll with it and pretend that wasn't part of the plan. We didn't need a face for this. So
What's
he's
the worst
going
that could
to look
happen?
at the Johnson. Oh yeah, we're just not going to get paid very much. That's all. So I'm going to look to Mr. Johnson and be like, Mr. Johnson, excellent of you to join us today, and I am glad we can do business. What is it you need protecting exactly?
There are 3 metahumans that are of interest to me that they do not come to any unfortunate circumstances as people in your line of work may occasionally be hired to do.
Are we talking full-size metahuman or child-size metahuman?
Both. The
Gotcha.
full-size metahuman is of less importance to me. However, good help is so hard to find.
Right
I
now,
understand.
there's some movement from L's side because somebody said full-size metahumans. And he like, what? What do you mean full-size? So I mean, I'm glad that full-size does matter to you, but what is the word full-size?
Roy will roll his eyes a little at Al's comment, which I assume is directly DNI'd to the rest of the group and not said to the Johnson.
Yeah, sure.
I would assume that you guys have your own private DNI because you don't want to talk about, do we trust this guy, in front of the guy that you're asking about whether or not you trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's backtrack it a little bit and say that I created the DNI network between all of us.
Yep.
As soon
Yep.
as I have the info who is going to the meeting, like this.
Yep.
All right. So I will respond to Al's comment of adults versus children.
The
Why didn't you say?
the specifics are 1 adult elven female, a teenage human.
Wait. Did you say Elven?
Yes. And he's going to kind of pause for a moment as if he's expecting some kind of.
Guess I'll look after the bloody dandelion eaters. Don't like them though. Plenty gets.
Roy is going
Chill.
to do
You
that
can
thing
look
where
after
he
the
just,
children, okay?
Roy is just going to tilt his head down and rub his temples a little.
It's hard being the adult in the group of children, isn't it?
Yep.
The other ones are humans ages 8 and 14. Without going into details, I'm sure you can understand why they are importance to me.
I understand completely. Is there a rebellious streak with the 14-year-old yet, or has she passed that stage? Or she?
It is always a difficult time in a young man's life when there are emotions at play, especially when I am not there to provide him with the discipline that young boys often require.
I'll nod. I remember that time.
Somebody sitting at your side of the table is probably in that time.
Yep. I didn't need discipline. I turned out just fine. Mana Blitzer is also getting noticeably bored. He's now sitting with his feet. He's like sitting on his feet on the chair at this point, kind of rocking back and forth.
Yep. I see that your team is eager to get to work. As such, we will get to the specifics, and then I will send you a data packet upon the location where which I will need your influence.
I think we can handle that. What? What the metas are. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get that in a second. So.
Oh yeah. I just lost Big Slime. Sorry.
I just dropped out. Pressed the wrong key and yeah.
You didn't miss a whole lot.
Yeah, no, it was just on roll 20, so.
Gotcha.
Oh.
I didn't mean, I didn't, well.
Yep, we got it. Moving
anything.
on.
Yep.
Very well. For your discretion,
So
I'm. Go ahead. I'm sorry, it sounded like you had a question there.
No, not a question. Just like Elle was asking for. I suppose there will be some kind of defense about this kid. So I will likely to need to have their com numbers and information like that. That will help me protect them.
Of course, and that will all be within the data package upon agreement and finalization of the job. For your, let us call it, discretion, I am willing to offer you 3,000 nuyen apiece up front. For each of the next 5 days until I return to Seattle, it would be 1,000 nuyen each a day.
Works fine for me.
I don't have a negotiation dice to roll.
You can always roll. What's the worst that could happen besides a critical glitch where you just...
I can critically glitch.
You could decide that the fate of these children is so important to you, you guys will do the job for free, right?
Yeah, I believe that Roy has Firebringer, is it?
Whoops.
Am I correct on that?
That sounds about right.
Yep,
Yeah,
he does. So Roy's going to take the better part of Valor, and it's fine to me.
Very good.
I mean, I have six dice.
One last question. Are any of the 3 principals magically active?
No, although the oldest boy does have potential. Potential I would not like to see him squander.
Well, one last question from me. Should we keep our activity secret from the subjects?
Secret is an interesting term. I would prefer their daily lives as interrupted as little as possible. However, assuming that you can present yourself like a normal, upstanding member of society, there should be no need for you to be completely unseen. As a heads up, you guys are more than welcome to write all over the back of the Roll20 table for any notes or things that you wish. I prefer that you do because it allows me to pace about my room in a way that keeps me from having to write notes for everybody.
So we put there that we are guarding what, elves, right?
It is an elven woman from what he has said so far. 2 children,
Uh-huh.
1 age 14, male, 1 age 8. For the sake of variety, we will make her female.
Yeah, okay. But he didn't say that children were elves, right?
No, they are human.
Ah, okay.
So the elf is hired help.
Presumably,
Yeah, might.
he was the one that he was not super interested in being absolutely safe, and B made a comment about good help being so hard to find.
Yeah. Mhm. So you want us to follow them up around without sticking our noses anywhere else, right?
It would be best if their day-to-day lives were not highly interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
But us standing in the corner of the room and not bothering them is acceptable.
So long as
one
you
of us standing in the corner
so
of the
long
room.
as you standing in the room does not provide a distraction for the rest of their activities of things that they will be doing.
I think the main question we're getting at is they're aware we're there to help, right?
I will have a message go to the housekeeper. She will know that additional help will be along. However, the full details of what you are there to provide help with, I leave it to you whether or not you wish to fully reveal.
And does the housekeeper know why we're there?
The housekeeper knows very little. She is not exactly a talented individual in the ways of the mind. She is, however, someone that the children like. As such, I keep her around, and she does an adequate job.
So if I, for example, come to your to the location where they spend their time and present myself as I don't know, new gardener or something, uh, I can take a place wherever they are and follow them up, right?
Perhaps. It is coming into the springtime, and it would save me on the hassle of hiring and paying a landscaper if you were to perform that for me.
That's not what I mean.
Yeah, we're not really in the landscaping business, so I would not recommend that we try and do landscaping. I don't know how well that would turn out.
I'm sending a message through our closed DNI. Like, yeah, landscaping. Grenades are great at landscaping.
Well, they do change the landscape.
Yeah.
Hup. Comes
Drastically.
back home. We've got trenches built around his place.
One of you is sitting up on the roof, coming down off Long Haul, like, they're everywhere, man. They're coming after us.
At this point, Igrand has just like disabled his mic and just gone back to checking out his equipment because he's bored now.
This fragging elves. It's going to be great. I can't wait to force you to interact with her.
Yeah, right.
So if there are no further questions, I will be able to provide you with a comm code that you are only to reach me should the worst happen. I trust that comm code will not need to be used. And he says it with a very specific, threatening tone to his voice.
Well, we all hope for the best. And we will contact you at the latest convenience possible on the last day of when you get back into town, I assume.
I look forward to seeing you all for dinner.
Oh, excellent. We look forward to dinner as well. Will we be eating out or dining in?
Depends upon how well you perform your tasks.
Excellent. Hopefully we will be eating in.
And then there will be a file request transfer pop-up that you guys may accept, which will be a pretty decently sized data package.
Oh, so I still have my 3 matrix perceptions, right? Or
Yes,
no?
and you are more than happy to answer them. You will
Yeah,
also get the 3,000 nuyen that he promised you up front.
Cool.
3,000
So
each, right?
Yes.
I'd like to use my perception on this file that's coming in.
Sure.
And like, the main question is there any threatening things like data bombs and or something like that, or maybe it's protected with something?
There are no data bombs nor Technomancer shenanigans going on with the
Cool.
file.
And
Because I did see
okay.
your 5 hits roll.
Maybe maybe there is something like, you know, like an airfeed tag of virtual airfeed tag.
Nope, there is no tracking or anything like that information on it.
Okay, okay. So I'm accepting it.
Yep.
Let it in.
Mhm.
Let me just
Yeah, and
Alright.
sending a message to my colleagues to say that it's clear and they can download it with no.
Well,
I will ask the
so
last
Cool.
question of, can we keep using this room until the hour is up?
yes. At which
Thanks very
time it
much.
will self-destruct, and from what I am told, a dump shock is not something that is enjoyable.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, so as, as I have a perfect time, I will try to do my best and keep us safe from it.
As I am on Matrix, I will bring up a big AR clock in front of me with a countdown timer to 2 minutes before the room is supposed to self-destruct.
Yep.
Yeah. That can do.
All right, guys. So, Johnson leave yet?
Yep, it will take a moment to make sure that you guys have no questions, and he will log out.
No.
Oh, you know what would have been smart? Having Alice trace his icon while he was still on and figure out how horribly deep of crap we are in. But
Only if things go wrong.
yeah, you know, that's blood magic slabs are pretty comfortable, I hear.
There was a GM on the hub that made the comment one time when somebody was asking questions of, well, how are they going to do that? And his response was, blood magic finds a way.
it always does.
Yep. All right, guys. So we've got a job to protect some people. What are our current plans other than obviously we have an address based on that comm link? I
Mhm.
assume the data packet. What is in the data packet is the first question.
Lots
Well,
of stuff. I'm going to make a
running-
couple quick things here. So we have the
That's you writing
housekeeper.
all over the table.
Yeah.
So, you know, like Al is trying to pinpoint the main info from this data pack and to create arrows with it all around the room, like for everybody to see.
Sure. If you want to give me a matrix search real quick, and we'll see how quickly you can process through the.
Yeah, sure. Second. So I will use. I suppose I have it.
Yep. As a heads up, I am not super intense on the matrix, so I don't need to know at all time. Like if we get into matrix initiative, then I'll care about things like programs and where you have your attributes assigned, because otherwise it just kind of.
Yeah, I throw the 14 dice. Now I'm throwing 16 dice, 16 dice because
Yep.
I have a program that gives me plus 3. Okay, give me a sec.
I will suggest to Alice, you know, kids these days probably have those social media accounts.
This,
I suppose I will look into it.
this damn
but a
P2.
little bit later.
So with 8 hits on your search, you're able to just blitz your way through this information. What kind of stuff would you like to know about them? Because it's almost guaranteed that that information is going to be in there.
Yeah, so we know that the son is 14, named Lucian Armendaris. Never mind. Human, daughter 18. What I want to know. Okay, is
And
there any information
this is
on
everybody. If anybody has questions on what they want to know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so is there any information about their day-to-day basis things, like, you know,
Do they go to
which time
school?
which time they wake up, which time they go to school, what time they go to somewhere else, or the main places that they are visiting every day to day?
I'm
Let's
sorry. I
start
saw
with
the note somebody made. One dandelion eater, 2 kids.
yeah,
You
one
horrible
vegetable.
racist, you. So we're gonna
Okay,
go
so
Monday.
let's start with the sun.
Um,
Or
trying to.
yeah,
There we go. Okay.
Lucian.
So Monday is class for both. It's going to be at a corporate campus that has a middle/upper school to it, where both kids will attend class in their various aspects of said building. So they're both going to go there.
I'm going to take a big bet that is a corporate school building.
Yep.
I'm going to take another bet that it's an Aztec subsidiary if Alice looks into it. Al looks into it. Sorry.
Sure.
That
So
would be some racial profiling there based upon some names and some other information, but would be totally accurate.
okay, so it's a subsidiary or it's Arts Technologies itself.
Yeah, there is classes basically across the board. As just a general thing that they have from the normal school hours.
Uh-huh.
Rob.
Mhm.
How well known is Egrand and his band?
Probably not very well known. Let me take a look at his. He has an agent as a contact, right?
Wait, Egrant has
So
a band?
he's in a troll metal band.
Lol.
As a
Tekken
connection
2 royalty free.
as a connection to band, you are probably not a well-known band. Given as I based that contact off of some other people that I know, the Crucible troll metal band is the most metal of bands. It is also the best metal band you've never heard of. So until he gets some public awareness or something along those lines, he sadly will not be a very good band outside of your garage or the local Orc Underground
Local
bar.
Seattle area.
Yeah. Sadly, he
So
did
I
not pick up the fame quality or anything along those lines.
Oh, no, that's
Right.
fine. I was just checking.
I think
I
that
didn't realize he had the contacts bit. So you mentioned it.
Sure.
yeah, so I think that throwing a concert of your group is somewhere in the school of these kids is not the best idea.
Yeah, a corporate school throwing a metal band concert, that sounds awesome.
No, that wasn't the idea, but you know.
But that's the idea now.
I have heard worse ideas. Let me
Yeah,
see. What other kind of crazy things can you guys get up to?
Okay, so what is about this sports? What
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
Family, do you know?
So sports is
this-
going to be baseball for Lucian,
Uh-huh.
field hockey for, or whatever the sixth world of equivalent of those sports is. I know baseball is still around, but I don't know if field hockey is, because field hockey is weird.
Well, most are still around, but divided into magical and, well, augmented shit.
Yeah, like playing field hockey with a fireball.
That sounds fun.
That sounds
Sounds fun.
way
too.
more interesting.
Yeah.
Doesn't Aztec have a very specific game that they play?
What, like
The old basketball game, the one with the two hoops at the end of the field, and then the losing team was all sacrificed.
on the top of their pyramid,
If
right?
if that's a thing, I am totally going to retcon the sports that they are playing to that sport is like a practice
it
league.
is.
So I'm going to change it to sports. That
Well,
Aslan thing.
I'm pretty sure they're really good players because they never lost.
It's called
Apparently,
that.
they're
I have
still
no idea how to
alive.
pronounce it.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
sure.
Yahtzee has spelled it out there. TLAC. Is that it, or is that you messing with me?
No, that's it. I linked a link in Skype for the actual game.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah, I see.
it's I've read about it a long time ago, but it's
I
been a
do
while.
So
remember now that I'm seeing the
it-
icon the game, but I didn't know if that was still a thing.
It was in that cartoon about the Golden City, if I'm not mistaken, some kind of a El
Road to
Dorado.
El Dorado.
Yeah, right. Okay. Um,
So that's
Now
the
that
basic
dated
of their thing. As one is
it's, Rob,
go ahead.
right quick. In the data pack, was there a like layout of like their buildings and stuff, like the court building, or the house itself?
There
Yeah,
will
does
be
the house have like
there
a
will
security
be
system?
a address to the house and the base level don't shoot me codes for the security there. There is also the address for the school, but not like the full school's layout. But there is a calling it a safe word has a really bad connotation, but it's a safe word in case you need to pull the kids out of school.
so we know information that if we need to come into class and say, hello, my name is
So-
Mr. Red, for example, and
E-
they will be with us, right?
Egrand suggests to like is it Al Tzedeka to like pull up a building plan for the cop building.
Yep.
So you want me
Yeah.
to break the
If-
fast of the Nazi technology school, right?
One thing, I don't know if you mentioned it already, but what type of region is it in Seattle? What
That's a
type of
very
security?
good. That's a very good question. We are talking. It's A zone. I believe there's an A zone in Bellevue. Let me double check.
I'll put the map up in a second here.
Yeah, you would think that I would.
Nah.
So let's go with Kirkland because that's what the wiki house in Kirkland.
Security
Someone-
radios.
Can someone link me the map of Seattle, please? Move it over.
That would be nice because I don't know anything about Seattle.
Thanks.
So our Seattle native here. How close is Kirkland to, let's say, Regency Park?
Where is Regency Park at? Let me see.
It's all right. I don't know either.
Okay, yeah. Where is Regency Park on this map? Or is
I
it
don't-
not on the map?
I don't know.
Oh.
Not a big deal. I'm just kind of making up places on where things could be. And going off
Yeah,
their
Bellevue's got a lot of A.
So the house is in Kirkland.
Bellevue's got some triple A's.
Yeah, all right. It's a dangerous place. Don't blow it up. That totally happened on the hub twice.
Yeah, they could be in Snohomish, for example, like agricultural as technologists. doing
Wow,
their-
I don't think that Elfie housekeeper would do too well in Snohomish.
No, but so the house is in Kirkland in a A-rated zone, and the school will be in Regency Park, which is a AA zone.
Oh boy, we are gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we know anything about magical protections? I mean, I imagine a corporate school has some sort of astral overwatch.
Oh, holy crap! I'm an actual mage. I am gonna go astral and go take a peek.
Sure. You may whoosh
Yeah,
off. If you want to
completely forgot about that.
throw me some security knowledge, and we can extrapolate onto things that you may or may not find in the data package.
In true teenage fashion, can I tag along on the astral trip?
If he tells you, because you guys are still in the Matrix aspect of things,
Oh, okay.
so you wouldn't see him just bleh, but if he mentions it, you'd be more than happy to be like, oh yeah, no, me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention it and then immediately say, "Don't do anything stupid. Spirits are mean."
I'm
Okay.
kind of grumble. Like, all right, this time.
As I jangle my 11 magic theory dice at you. Or,
Okay, so you notice that L is disappearing from this host. His person is flying to the school host.
Sure. You want to roll a
So-
matrix perception on the school host? I believe Ingrid wanted to roll some security procedures or something along those lines.
Yeah. Give me a second. Roll.
And you guys can roll some astral type stuff. There it is.
The roll is sensing.
Yep.
Uh, and,
So with your 2 hits on your astral perception, sorry, Mana Blister did not roll his astral perception yet.
I'm waiting for it.
For sensing this.
That's
The exclamation points force your dice into exploding, and I assume you did not want to spend edge on this roll.
how did he get? I don't know what happened. He rolled
So-
76, but he rolled a 13.
So when you double exclamation point like that, it compounds upon itself. So when you roll a 6, it rolls another dice and adds it together. There you
The
go.
old school Shadowrun method.
Right? So with 2 hits
Yeah.
on each, this is actually going to be very interesting because, Professor, this feels like a comfortable place to you. It's a place of learning. You will see that there is a couple of Watcher spirits that are just kind of hanging out. Not like super high force, but as we are past the close of business, we'll call it, they seem to be dissipating. Just like every once in a while, you'll see one pop if you hang out there for a little while. The holy security knowledge, Batman.
Seriously.
On the other end of things, Mana Blitzer, this place is boring.
Okay.
You will see the same Watcher spirits as they begin to expire throughout the course of their day. It feels gross to you a little bit, just in the flavor of the astral is of a learning type thing.
Very drab feeling.
Very drab, very boring, very hermetic. Blech.
With my magic threats, do I happen to see certain astral vines?
You do not see any like kudzu vines or anything along that kind of hanging around here.
Gotcha.
Al rolled a perception and then a security knowledges. So was your perception on the host of the school, or
yeah, first I'm on the school, and as well, the first question is always like, what's
What?
the rating of host?
Okay.
To understand.
school host rating? Let's go 4 because that's public. Let's go 5 because it's corporate. So it is a rating 5 host. Under your security knowledges, a lot of the information inside is going to be encrypted on a very not like basic but specific level. Like you're going to be able to find out some information about the classes, but the students are all going to be addressed by like this is student number, etc. And if you look into finding out information on that specific student, that is going to be encrypted because we are dealing with minors here, and we're dealing with minors that belong to a very powerful mega corporation, and there are various subsidiaries to be brought up in the megacorp way, and they know that this is a vulnerability that some people can have, so they're going to make sure to encrypt that information. They will likely also have a personal security matrix person on quick call at the very least during the course of the school day. Is there other questions you have based upon your giant pile of hits?
Yeah, I'd like to just to figure out if I can get out the schematics of a school without any, like heavy breaking and entering. Like go in, grab it, and run away without a notice.
So you can get a base level layout of the building from their public matrix, because it's one of those things of like,
We've already got that though.
yeah, well, you got the school address. You didn't get like the full on layout. You have like their class schedules, but where they are in the building is a little bit of a, like, you could figure it out, but you can get a decent layout of the building. You don't know the teachers to all of the rooms, but you can figure that out if you did a little bit of a host dive.
Okay, let's start with taking what we can without breaking in. I mean, like if they have schematics of a school laying in the open, I will take them. And then after returning to my colleagues into the host, I will try to compare the information that we've got from our client to the schematics of a school, like if there is any information on names of teachers and like the full list of classes that they have on a day, and we'll try to compare it to the schematics of a school to put X marks.
Sure,
Like
you guys can spend a little time to compare that. Egrant, not a whole lot of gangs operate out of the immediate area of the school. Something about heightened security around a corporate school facility. However, young kids are a great recruiting aspect of various gangs. As I do a quick search here.
You're probably looking at Lake Acids and Nova Rich in that area, I believe, if not Shadowrun Roar.
The Lake Acids apparently are the Inner City 9 that live in Bellevue. The Nova Rich are a fantastic gang. But I don't think Egrant would really consider them a proper gang. They're more of a pile of rich kids who do quasi-legal stuff for kicks. So, as we are getting into legwork proper, and it's been a little while, we're going to go ahead and take a couple minutes break. For those of you watching this on YouTube, the next video is probably already up, so have at it. We're going to open that up with a couple of GM-oriented questions about what has happened so far, or if you have come up with any based upon other stuff, and then we will get back into our legwork, and we'll meet the family. What could go wrong?
Yay.
Yeah.